Hey, what's up, beautiful people? In this video we are going to talk about a question that almost every Blackmagic Pocket 6K owners are asking themselves right now. Is the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro really worth it? After I've spent all that time to put together this amazing, heavy, expensive rig for my Blackmagic Pocket 6K, and I've been shooting with both cameras, and in this video I'm going to tell you my experience of shooting with both. Hopefully you guys can learn from that. I also have a request or have something that I'm going to ask Blackmagic to start focusing on so they can build more brand loyalty with their user, and so we can just trust them more. And when I say that, you would notice that I'm actually right, because as I've mentioned in my previous videos, I've been using Blackmagic for a very long time and I've seen how much they've progressed, and they're just close to be that go-to camera to so many people. So I also have a funny story, something that happened when we was trying the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro versus the Red Komodo in Luton. So I'm gonna tell you guys about those two things. So first of all, let's talk about the Blackmagic Pocket 6K. So you have the camera, you have the extra batteries, you have the ND filter, you have an external monitor. Is the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro worth it? So first of all, the difference between the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro and the 6K is only £500 or $500, or just, you know, where you live, try to work out the difference. And you know, when they say you get what you pay for, this is the only time when I feel like you are actually getting more than what you pay for. So let me explain. As you can see, so basically everything you see here compressed into one camera. That is what the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro is. And instead of having this, you know what the Pocket 6K Pro allow you to do, and that's something that I've noticed when I was shooting. You shoot way quicker and you fast to set up, and then basically time, that's something that you never buy. You can buy all the accessories and try to mimic what the Pocket 6K Pro does, but you don't really have time. And let's start with travel time. So I have a case or a fly case where I keep the cage, the camera, and you know, some of other accessories and cables. I've got another case or fly case where I keep the battery and the V-mount or V-lock battery chargers, which are expensive because I've got a set of 3 and the charger. So carrying those are two fly cases that you have to carry, right? And then I don't know how you pack your camera, by the way, I'm just telling you from my experience. And what I've noticed with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro, listen, the camera, the battery grip, and the EVF, it fits inside my backpack, meaning I can just pull that puppy out and start shooting straight away, which is very good. And as a DP, you know how much saving time would actually help you to get your shot quick or make better decisions. So the second thing that we have to talk about, the price difference. Obviously you can say, well, I've got the ND and I can still use my ND, which is dope or good. You're right, but do you know what, when you have different lenses, as like for me, I used to love shooting film or 35mm film. If you see at the back, I still have my old cameras, and those cameras come with so many vintage lenses. And I've got the Helios here, very unique, beautiful lens. I've got a set of I can't lift them at the same time. I've got a full set of Canon FDs, right? I also have a full set of Zeiss Jenna vintage lenses. I also have another set of vintage. This is the Tahir and also the Zeiss Flectagon, and actually a lens that is filming me right now is the 35mm set of this Zeiss Jenna Flectagon Zebra, whatever you call it. And something that I found with the ND is that you would need a different step-up ring, and I am tired buying step-up ring. I've got more than one actually. I don't know where the other ones are, and I am actually tired of buying step-up rings. So the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro coming with that internal ND, that's a big advantage for me, because first of all, the glass that is made, that ND is made with, it's something that Blackmagic have to test and see how good this is. Also, it does not change the characteristic of your lens. I know that you know that we both know that the lens dictates the overall look and feel of your image. So if you put this ND in front of your lens, you start to see a color shift, and I've tried that, and some NDs are not good. So the Blackmagic Pocket 6K having that internal ND, it just helps you a lot. Also, it's quicker to make decision. You might be shooting right now and then it's sunny, and then your ND might even not be enough, or you might just want to, like, you know, flick it back to 2, 4 or 6, and then just, it's simple and it's quick. And I've noticed that when I was filming outside with the 6K Pro. And another thing that I also have to say, and sometimes when I'm filming with the ND and then I want to add a polarizer, I need a step-up ring also. I would have to stack both together, and it just doesn't look good. And one thing that I'm going to tell you, if you're a black filmmaker or if you understand more about skin tone, dark skin tone is very reflective, and I always use a polarizer. So now I'm finding myself using the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro ND and a polarizer on my lens, because I just want to be able to cut that small shininess on dark skin tone, because my clients are consist of 80%, you know, the black community, and other percentages everyone. So that is one thing that I'll have to talk about. So the next thing is just the battery alone. And listen, with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K batteries, I don't know how you power yours, but you find yourself worrying about how long is the battery here, and then how long is the battery in your monitor. And with the 6K Pro, you really shoot very quick, because you just worried about, you know, one battery. And if you have the battery grip, you put, you know, 2 batteries in there and then 1 inside the camera, you shoot very quick. So another thing that obviously you know, and I know that you know, so basically the whole screen on the 6K here, so it's not really bright outside, and then that's why we use the ATOMOS, and the ATOMOS is expensive, or any other monitor that you use. So the 6K Pro comes with a bright screen, 1500 nits. That's really good for shooting outside, which is something that I really like. Also, you can adjust it up and down. With this, you need to have the external monitor, also the monitor holder. So now let's talk about one little thing that I've noticed. One little thing. You see the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro design. When you put that camera on your gimbal or on your tripod, it doesn't shake. Look at this. This always, it doesn't matter how you fix this on your base plate, it always move back and forth, because it only have one mounting screw at the bottom, but the Blackmagic Pocket 6K has 2, which is very important. Another thing that I noticed, or something that is on the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro, those 2 mini XLR audio, they help you way too much. And I was shooting an interview, which I'm gonna have to post later, for 2 people talking. That means you just need 2 mic and 2 XLR cable. You don't need to buy 2 receivers and all that wahala. So that is something that I have noticed. Again, The biggest thing that I kind of like about the 6K Pro is that it becomes almost like a pocket 4K that has ND and EF, and the battery lasts long because the camera allows you to shoot BRAW or B-RAW or Blackmagic RAW in 4K. So when you have that project that doesn't really need too much flexibility in post, you can still shoot Blackmagic RAW in 4K, and that is really good. Or if you want to shoot 6K RAW, that's good. So you decide. Talking about that, one thing that I need to tell you, you guys are messaging me a lot because you're buying the wrong drive. So the T5 is compatible with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K, 4K and 6K Pro. The T7 is not compatible. Make sure you keep that in mind. But I use the T7 for editing, also the T5 for recording. So I thought I would just put that in there. But another thing that I really like about the Blackmagic Pocket 6K is the additional EVF that you guys can purchase. And I am an EVF person, and listen, this is my EVF that I use for the Blackmagic Pocket 6K, because when Blackmagic made this camera, the 6K, I've noticed how good that camera was, but I don't really like using monitor. So I'm also doing a review about the EVF, which I'm going to release, you know, later on. And the reason why I've not done a 6K Pro review is that, you know, I've had this camera for almost 2 weeks, and Blackmagic sent this camera, and the first thing that I did after talking about my first impression, listen, I went and I showed the camera consistently, because I'm not really a YouTuber who's just gonna jump on YouTube and talk about the camera that I've not used. I'm a narrative filmmaker and I'm a storyteller, and I basically want you guys to come to my channel and get value. Because something that I've noticed is that, you see, when company makes cameras, there's the camera that they describe and there's a camera that you actually use, and they're almost, you know, two different things. And on their website is almost perfect, but when you actually start to use that camera a lot, you start to notice a little things that, you know, you can't really read from their website. But so far this camera has been very good. But if you watch my review, you would see how I think about the camera. So if you're asking yourself, is the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro worth it? I will tell you, yes, it does, because it's going to allow you to shoot faster. It's going to allow you to just, you know, move around, and also time, which money, you can never buy time. So now let's talk about what I am trying to talk about, or what I'm trying to address about Blackmagic as a company. So Blackmagic, hear me out. So this is a suggestion. So when you make a camera, right? So let's say this is the next Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro that you guys are working on, okay? I'm gonna call that the next Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro, because I know it's gonna be a good one. So let's say you make the 6K Pro, right? Make sure that you make 5 good 6K Pro, right? And when you've made them, send them, or 2 or 1 to filmmakers, people who shoot narrative, and then you give them a condition. Hey, filmmaker, we are going to give you this camera, but can you make a 5-minute beautiful narrative piece, and then you give us every problem that you face with this camera, so we can make a case study, and then we will improve the 6K Pro. So Blackmagic, all I'm trying to say, quality control is important. So basically, when you give that camera to that filmmaker, they are going to use it. They are going to use it in low lights and all type of condition. And then once they give you the feedback, you guys can then check and correct those camera that you have, those 6K Pro. And then the next thing that you have to do, you have to build this algorithm that you connect the camera that works perfectly to every other camera that you guys have. And then the software will check, okay, so camera 1 is fine, camera 6 has a slightly green or blue tint, so you guys will adjust to that. But because you're using the best or the better camera as a reference, the software will then run and see if, or scan and see if everything matches. If everything matches, when you put that camera on the market, the first batch of cameras are going to be perfect as the last batch. So everyone will jump on those cameras and they're not going to message me, hey bro, you know what, this is happening. No, because you guys have spent way more time testing those cameras. So that is just my advice for Blackmagic. So now let's talk about a funny story. So basically, as soon as I got the camera, I start putting together models to go and shoot Komodo versus Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro, and my point was to focus on being creative. So we had good lighting, we had good lenses, and a very good model. So we shot everything and we used the Zeiss Autos. We had the 28, we had the 55 and the 85. Those lenses are beautiful. So, and the contract was basically, before we put the video out, we had to send it to the model so she can give us a go ahead. So we did everything, and that was gonna be the best video that I was gonna put on this channel, because I spent way too much time coming out with a lighting plan and all those amazing things. So edited the video, sent it to her, but when she saw herself, she was like, nah, we're not putting this video out. And the first message she sent was that, I need to send you guys your money back. I was like, why? She was like, look at my face. Like, the camera picked up almost how I blended my makeup, and she was just very insecure about the way the camera picked up all the small fine details, because we had a very good lighting. So that's why the Komodo versus Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro footage is not gonna be out, but I don't mind doing it again for you guys. So I'm planning to go back to Luton again, and we've got the next model, and this time we say we have to post a video without asking you. If you just give us a go ahead before we film, that's it. So guys, that's one thing I wanted to say. But if you like this video, please make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell icon so you don't miss when I post a video like this. Stay tuned and stay creative.